Why would he ever? Why would he ever
them.
change his name though?
I know. Raging Potato, like he's got like 5 different names that he's gone by in the past, but this one is by far my favorite.
Yeah, and then I mean, even on Newbee side, they have name changes as well. Moogy used to be U9.
Yeah, U9.
Changed it up. Apparently, his name was associated with a company, and that's why he.
Yeah, there was a website, uu9.cn or whatever.
Oh, okay. Because I remember Jack telling me about that, and I was like totally confused because I don't know anything about that. But Newbee looking like they're going for the advantageous laning phase. They are going to smoke up. They do have a pretty decent kill potential at level 1. Sand King stun's pretty good. Looks like for now they're just going to be placing some wards. The one thing that I can see Newbee struggling with is not just about the post BKB Enigma, but punishing the Enigma in general. Because Dazzle is not really known for his aggressive potential. It's going to be the KP Shaker, obviously. But how do they stop him from getting farmed, is my question.
Look at this. Kaka is actually going to hit him from the trees. Nice setup there. They're going to be able to get the slow onto Nando. He's going to have to pop the Rage. Kaka's trying to get in front of him to get a body block in, but not going to be able to do so. They do manage to snatch away that bounding rune, but fail to be able to get the first blood. It seems like everybody is doing this now. This has now become the standard to smoke and invade. You already had an Execration set up for an invasion up here in the top lane. They didn't really try and hide it too much. It seems like that's currently the meta. Everyone likes to be able to do that.
I think it's becoming more and more about just how you want to lane. So you have these 2 supports and bottom, and you can still pull. Like, you can pull your own creeps. You have a Dazzle. He's really good at killing the camp. I think it's maybe one thing that people kind of underestimate is how fast the hero can get farm in the early game and just get to like one decent item. And then you're kind of making the other team say, hey, I'm either going to try to win mid, which even in a 2v1, SCCC is probably going to be fine.
Right.
And then top lane, it's you know, Enigma versus the Earthshakers. So you're saying you're either pulling other heroes to come win this tri lane, or we're just going to completely, you know, shut down whatever hero is down here.
I'm kind of curious what this... Why isn't Raging Potato left to go bottom yet, since Nando's now here? Because they don't want the Lifestealer versus Ursa matchup.
Yeah, obviously not. It's really bad for him. They've already rotated the other support up too, so Fate is now turned into a 2-1-2. There's Raging Potato. He's out of there.
Man, he was reluctant to head down to that bottom
He's
lane.
like, I'm getting so many creeps. Why would you make me leave? Actually, he didn't get any. He just denied a bunch.
Yeah.
So I guess he was just sitting there, like, denying, helping control the lane a bit, and then... Yeah, because he's double wave now top.
Meanwhile, in mid lane, we actually had the Tusk kind of hanging around, try to threaten SCC as much as possible. Eventually, you have to leave. That's just a lane that Dragonite is always going to be able to survive in. Right
You
now,
actually...
the Puck has the advantage, but not.
You cannot push this hero out of lane. Like, as Puck, you have to pretty much land every single orb. And even when you do that, all it takes is, you know, SCCC getting to his bottle and picking up one rune, and all your work is undone.
Yeah.
It's very, very tough. Fortunately, it's not like James has to crush his lane. He just needs to make sure that he gets 6 at a relatively good timing. And then once they start moving around the map, creating space for the Lifestealer and or I guess the Enigma too. Just because of how integral Raging Potato is going to be to this lineup.
And he's got a lot to think about when he does hit that level 6 and where he wants to go ganking, right? Because both the Ursa and Earthshaker, I would say, have very high priority on your list of heroes to gank. You want to keep that Earthshaker away from his Blink Dagger as fast as possible, especially since it threatens you, the Puck, most. And then the Ursa, you're just a great hero to be able to kite the Ursa around quite a bit, and it's definitely a snowballing hero that can suffer if it hurts that laning. Oh no!
Gets him.
Nice pickup by Jane.
Yeah, the double null. I don't think he would have one-shot it. He also didn't have the Breathe Fire debuff. So yeah, one hit, one courier. It's a really good thing for Execration here. But yeah, the choice of who to gank is always kind of tricky, because you need to think about what hero is going to do the most amount of damage to what you're trying to accomplish, right? And sometimes it could be the Ursa, because the Ursa is good against your Lifestealer. But in this case, I think SCCC is the hardest hero to kill, but I also think in a way it's either him or it's KP. You delay the Blink Dagger on the Shaker, that gives your Puck a good game. You kill the DK, you stop the push. Because that's the only hero who really hits buildings on Newbee. They're more looking to like stay the lanes. Once they get levels, yeah, they'll be able to do their 5-man Dota with the DK and, oh, first blood.
Oh, managed to pick up RR in the bottom lane. The Rubik ends up going down. Looks like chased down by Kaka and Moogy. They're going to try and catch Raging Potato too. They do manage to slow him down. He gets the Eidolons in front of Moogy. Nice body block in there from Raging Potato. Looks like they're still going to be able to make a dive underneath the tower. R tries to go for the body block, but he didn't have telekinesis up. Now he has it, but he's just going to have to turn and fight Moogy as best as possible because he's definitely dead here. He just hopes to be able to get the kill in return. He does, but doesn't manage to stay alive to be there for it. Ends up getting taken later on. Meanwhile, top lane, they actually managed to get Lumic. Faith barely survived through that one, but does manage to get the kill.
Surprising that he ends up dying in that lane. Like, Dazzle Shaker doesn't really seem like the type of lane with like super high kill potential.
Yeah.
And I guess there is a point in the poison touch though, so Faith opting to skip the shallow grave for now.
Yeah, maybe he just misjudged it, thought he could actually kill Faith rather than the other way around. Faith will end up dying here. Nando would wrap around it.
That should help.
Well, so far, I gotta say, like, James is doing a really solid job. You know, normally in this matchup, if you can dodge the breathe fires, like, consistently, you should be able to still farm. But sometimes it's tough. You know, the AoE is pretty decent, and the animation itself is relatively fast. So if you're on your A game, looks like you can still do pretty well.
Keeping SCC low enough, he's gonna have to burn through invis and bottle charges now. Even a TP from the Dazzle to refill that bottle even more and get us a heal. Let's dodge on the Poison Touch. We now have the Soul Ring for KP. That certainly helps out quite a lot in your laning phase when you're facing up against a Tri lane, just being able to spam out Fisher for CS. And he does have quite a large stack here that he might be able to take some part in, though I'm sure Execration are going to put some pressure on it. Might be a good opportunity for James to rotate up, kill the Earthshaker, and help take the stack.
They could probably do it, although a lot of the time when you're puck, you really want your second spell level 2. The Waning Rift deals a good amount of damage. So maybe if you get like the 1 or 2 extra points, it could be in trouble though, James.
Rotation, phase shift. Oh! Kaka tries to hit him before the jump to the orb, but our puck is able to make it away. Meanwhile, top lane R is in place to be able to go on KP here. Now, he is a tanky son of a gun, but that's the thing. Lifestealer's so good against Earthshaker for that reason. You are actually one of the
Radiant's
forces
middle tower is under attack.
Unfortunately, only having 1 stun means that Earthshaker can always just TP back to tower.
I'm really happy to see that KP just TPs the tower. He doesn't, you know, TP back to base. Sometimes in the moment, you know, you do that. Moogy?
Boils on to Moogy. He's gonna have to turn and fight, but he's dead, so he ends up going down. In the meantime, though, SCC sees the opportunity. The puck's gone. Put pressure on mid, but James is already back. He walked to bottom lane and is able to TP back already. SCC is going to be caught with a snowball, and looks like he didn't have enough mana nor the cooldown for the Ice Shards. As it now, like on, is going to be able to block Faith in, but James doesn't feel comfortable sticking around here, not against an Ursa. Faith is able to survive thanks to the shallow grave. Moogy gets revenge against James.
Very heavy commitment there. It's very dangerous to do those kind of aggressive orbs and jaunt forward when you don't have any vision of the enemy high ground. Like, sure, Lumic walked up the hill, but it's a Tusk, and he's only level 3, so he's not really offering that much damage. They should have probably anticipated a grave, but just overextending a bit. Trouble though here.
Snowball will buy him some time. He went over to neutral, so he'll get some distance away from others. I think he'll be fine. He'll take a while for Moogy to chase him down. So the first rotation from our puck was to put pressure on the Ursa. We'll see where his second one comes in. He does have the Dream Coil coming off cooldown and a TP up in 15 seconds. I'm kind of feeling like I was looking at this matchup, and I feel like 2 of the standout players, big playmakers for both teams, are actually the opposite. Right? KP is oftentimes one who is making a lot of plays for Newbee, creating space, etc. He can have some rough games, but that's, I think, just the opposite in general. And Raging Potato, I think, is an excellent player. I think he's one of the best.
I absolutely agree. Like, for a long time, Raging Potato's kind of been that player who you look at it. This guy, he can play a ton of different stuff. Always high impact.
Kaka is going to be chased down here. James is going to be able to pick up that one with the orb. KP actually going to TP back. where he's sitting at. Net worth-wise, we're sitting. Dragonite is top of the board, but he's been just kind of calmly sitting mid and farming the whole entire time. Puck is still keeping pace despite all the rotations, sitting at just 100 gold below him. Great thing for Execration is that their 2 cores, both the Enigma and Lifestealer, are both sitting there above the 3k line, while the Ursa is not quite there. So the laning phase has really gone well for Execration, despite the kill lead being slightly in the favor of Newbee, and even gold very slightly out.
This is one of the worries I feel when you have just so little pushing power. Like even with SCCC, he's going to be forced to pop the haste here in the middle lane. They just need to get the tier 1s down, I think, a tiny bit faster. The more time the Execration has, the better.
Get him with the coil here. Of course, he's still in patron for a little while. Looks like that stun wasn't long enough to get Raging Potato there for the Black Hole. He's level 7, so that would have been a nice rotation. Good way to catch ACC. Ooh, he actually threw a stun on Eidolon. That's not what he wanted. Kaka's going to be coming in. Looks like James is going to make this commitment here. See if they have the physical damage, but the heal comes out from Faith. That's not going to be good enough, so Kaka go over to him as he chases down Raging Potato. Does have a Roar Strike up in 2 seconds. He's going to have to go in deep for the tower. Has Malphus on him as well. It's not quite enough damage thanks to the rain drops, and it looks like he might be able to get away. He turns, right-clicks Kaka, knows he's going to die to this one, but at least he'll ensure the death on Senking, or not. Barely outside of the range of the tower.
Oh, the
Raindrop does block that Ice Shard, but Azaka blocks the Snowball, and the right-click allows Lumik to be able to take the kill.
Still super worth it for Kaka. I'm also pretty sure he spent a little bit of his money before he died, so not losing out on too much there. Good. Keeping himself alive, forcing reactions, getting a really, really big solo. Good stuff coming out so far here from Newbee, and that's the kind of pace they need to keep up. Wait,
that is a long enough stun that he wasn't able to jump to his orb. He's in trouble, SCC. He has got 35 movement speed, 5 more on the puck, but he's got Breeze Fire, and he didn't have the quick reactions to be able to stop it. So
that is a really hard spell to finish him.
Yeah,
it's not instant, but it might as well be. It's just, you have to know it's coming.
Yeah, you have to somehow, like, it's not a quick reaction sort of thing, right? It's a general read of he's going to breathe fire.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky. But I've seen that like a handful of times out of the game so far. Like the orb, it's either too aggressive or, you know, he's throwing it out and he's just mistiming his abilities.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because he needs to be the playmaker for his team.
Well, I guess if you're lifesteal and you don't want to deal with the Ursa in lane, you just become a Satyr instead. So he's kind of run around, throwing out the orbs. You have SCC with Kaka going to make a rotation up to this top lane. I like this a lot. They're going to be able to put pressure on this lifesteal. They probably won't kill him the inside of Satyr, but they will at least pick up that one support kill, quickly turn it into a tier 1 tower push.
More or less, yeah. I think this is great. They're timing in with the catapult. They got the double wave and everything. There's not going to be any contention whatsoever. Bottom lane, they might lose KP here.
KP runs forward, positions himself for an Echo Slam, but he knows that's not going to be enough damage to kill either one of them, so he holds on to it.
This is definitely better for Newbee, though. Even losing KP, it's a bit of a bummer, but because they pushed so fast, they're already making their way towards mid. Like, they're going to get extra damage on this tier 1. They're going to end up trading 2 tier 1s for the single tier 1 that Execration themselves will be taking. These are the types of trades you want.
Yeah, and this offlane tower is like, it's not the most important tier 1, right? That would be Liza. That SCT. So, a lot of wins. A lot of items coming in. We have the Midas finish up for the Enigma. Relatively good timing, 12 minutes. We are 8 moves. Just speed his way quickly to the blink dagger. The first thing you can do, Enigma, a little slow in the hand of Midas, and then just a couple minutes behind your flank and your PK. As we talked about, this is a slower hero, and Newbee are going to be picking up the pace quite a lot. Especially now that they have the Aegis.
Yeah, the Roshan is huge. This is the Ursa Classic. You know, you want Roshan pretty much every time if you're playing the hero. And the biggest...
Black Hole onto Moogy, but he is going to have the time to throw out the range. It looks like on this first life, he's pretty low. Raging Potatoes really just hoping to be able to survive this in range, and his Eidolons will manage to take that kill. KP, he doesn't see Raging Potatoes for the last second. He gets out the Fisher. Raging Potatoes like, all right, I traded my life for the Aegis. I'm going to throw out my Eidolon, see if I can get some extra CS, but...
That is very worth it, though. I mean, it looks kind of weird to commit a Black Hole to an Aegis, but if you think about it this way, the Ursa wants the Aegis to be able to push.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, is you get the Roshan, you go get an objective with it, you take a team fight, you play super aggro. They're going to
found Kaka. That's going to be a smoke break. just kind of pieced it together. Nice shards in for Newbee, but if they stick around, their push on the top lane may actually be met with resistance from Newbee. They've got a 3-man smoke from bottom all the way through up to the top lane. And I'm guessing he's gonna. Though he doesn't have
blink
for 15 seconds.
There's
so.
blink on KP though. This could be a juicy echo.
Oh, it's looking real good. He's gonna come in, 2-man echo slam. He's gonna be able to get the Fisher off. Great reaction from RR to try and slow down KP, but he still gets off enough of a combination to finish those two off. And now RR, he's rolling to 0.9. He's rotating. Great setup. Execration game. Actually cancels. It looks like he's gonna cut one more wave instead of rotating.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not sure about the cancel. It's one of those situations that just happened where you have wards down on the enemy side of the map for Execration and you feel safe. You're like, oh yeah, they're not coming up here, sick. And then you forget that, you know, smoke in the seed is a thing. And they just beelined it all the way from the other side of the map. Smoke ran straight up and they just didn't quite grasp the timing that that gank would hit them. And obviously the reveal of the Blink Dagger was that's the exact fight you want when you first get your Blink.
Yeah, it's a pretty fast Blink Dagger too.
Well, he did start in the safe lane, and then I think he left a little bit later on, moved to the off lane when they decided that they wanted Moogy to be a little bit more on the farm priority. But nonetheless, you know, Newbee are getting the incremental advantages that they want with this Ursa lineup. You kind of want to be playing from ahead all the time, and the longer the game goes, you know, we keep coming back to Raging Potato and his importance in the game, but I think it's important that people understand just how difficult it is to play against Blink, BKB, Enigma when you don't have interrupts.
Yeah. Every single initiation, no matter how good it is, could actually be your downfall. Lumic in some trouble here. Caught by Metal as well. SCC. Alright, they managed to get Kaka, and we'll get some damage on this tier 1 tower. Moogy, meanwhile, he'll come over and protect the tower and stuff, but he's actually really close to his Blink Dagger, which will be huge. Between the two of them, Kaka, actually 3 of them against Kaka, Deer Shaper, and Ursa. They're gonna have a lot of initiation openings. This is the hardest part of the game for Execration, right? Where you don't actually have the huge threat of BKB Black Hole. Maybe you have Blink, but that's again so many stuns. That's too big. And the enemy teams have all their mobility items to initiate on you.
It's going to be really chaotic fights. I think that's what's most likely going to happen. Is going to be Blink Puck with the Blade Stealer, Tusk has stuns, you know, the Blink Black Hole, the Blink Epis, the Echo Slams. The fights are going to get super, super crazy really fast because I don't think Newbee want to back off yet. In fact, they go ahead and smoke up again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're just going to hit Execration. And they bloody them enough and maybe just an early submission. But if Execration can survive through these rotations, as Nando does, great rage! That was perfect. The smoke pops and Nando doesn't waste a quarter of a second. He instantly pops that rage and dodge the Echo Slam initiation.
That's really big, like not giving them the opportunity for a pick. Finding Nando would have been great for them. He's also got a Midas, so he's being as effective as he can throughout the map. They know Echo is down, so what do? Immediate infest smoke.
James is ready to go with his Blink Dagger coil.
Their deep wards are still down too, so they see SCCC and they saw KP as well. They know that this hero is alone top if Moogy stays.
If they could actually get the pick onto this hero, they could just turn it into a tower as well. It was like Newbee and Red kind of the same. Hey, they're off the map. Moogy used Echo Slam. Probably be a good time for them to try and get aggressive. Bottom lane, Kaka's actually got a nice little setup here. He's got the Blink Dagger ready to go. Level 1 Epicenter though. Pretty sure he can't kill Raging Potato.
It's actually pretty close. If he gets one more person, he can definitely kill.
Yeah. That's what he's waiting on. See, gonna make the wrap around here. Actually not even gonna be using the Epicenter. Looks like they're just gonna go with the stun from SCC. Pop goes.
Another trade here is Execration in the meantime pushing top. They might get a little bit of damage dealt bottom as SCC doesn't have a double damage. So if they want to stay here and punch this, they definitely can. The Lifestealer does not have Infest though, so fighting this in the bottom lane I think for Execration, especially considering Raging Potato's dead, probably not something on their list of things to do. Looking for potential initiation on the James, but it's real hard to time a puck.
Yeah, he's going to try and wrap behind the tier 2 where there isn't vision.
Is under attack.
Backed up. instantly kills the
Radiant's
Freeway.
bottom tower is under attack.
Apparently backdoor protection wasn't up there, but
Radiant's structures are fortified.
Cliff gonna be used just to buy some time. I'm assuming that Execration will just give us up for farming time. I really don't think that if you're in
Dire's
their
top tower is under
position,
attack.
you don't fight Newbee unless you're going for like a smoke gang.
Yeah, and if you know that you're fighting into multiple ultimates, that's also a bit of a deterrent, I think, is Execration, because until BKBs are out, for the Enigma at least, it's really, really tricky to even think about getting a black hole, because KP can just wait. That's the great thing about Newbee's lineup prior to BKBs, is that the Ursa can just stay out of the fight as long as he wants, because they will need the black hole to win the fight. Newbee might not necessarily need an Echo Slam, though.
Now, Execration were able to keep their tier 2 alive, and that's
Dire's middle
because
tower
Newbee
has
actually
fallen.
backed away, or at least one member did, the Dragon. They can see this, but you can see the Moogy sitting there, actually going to be able to catch Moogy here. They managed to get the silence onto him, but there's no follow-up damage. James holds on. Left-hand side, they do manage to catch KP, but it's Kako who makes the initiation with the epicenter. Lumic is now stuck right next to Moogy, not where you want to be against an angry bear, and KP takes the rest. He's going to be able to chase down the Rubik, while it looks like Lumic. Some sort of ice shards TP play, not possible. Not against Kaka. Will end up going down. So all three of the members of Execration end up dying. Looks like Newbee's patience finally won out in the end. They've been kind of sitting down here, hiding away in the trees for a very long time, while Dragon Knight pushed out top.
They didn't want to commit to the Ursa. That was the, I think, where the fight kind of went south for Execration. They coil this Ursa and he's sitting there. He hasn't popped his Enrage. And Moogy's just like, okay, I got like 60% health. If you guys commit to me, I'll pop my ult. That buys time. Kaka sees the opportunity for the epicenter counter initiation. And not only that, but Faith was also just sitting behind the trees waiting to grade. So even though it looked like Moogy got caught, it was more of a bait than anything else. And obviously, he snap at the fact with all his spells. He didn't even have to connect there. He was just straight at the kid.
Newbee are just completely outmaneuvering Execration at this point in time. Because then they make that play at bottom, so the Enigma... Oh, now they're making a play for bottom lane still. They're going for Nando, but what a beautiful steal from RR. He managed to get the two-man burrow strike. That's going to turn this whole entire fight around. They managed to get one kill. Kaka with a shallow grave survives a little bit longer, but he will end up dying to the Infest Bomb, the pop-out. James catches Fate as well. They cut down 3. All right, Newbee, just as I was praising you for completely outmaneuvering Execration, and they were. Looks like they got a little greedy and still tried to make a play. They made a play bottom, then top, then bottom immediately, and that's a little too fast, maybe.
They're probably overestimating their individual hero strength a little bit too much. They had Echo there, so maybe they were feeling like, hey, if they try to commit again, we still have our Dazzle. I think, unfortunately, Faith misclicked. I think he graved the wrong person. He graved Kaka instead of KP.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that would have made much of a difference in, you know, letting him live or whatever, but yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake, and it ends up costing them. The important thing to note too is, even though, you know, Newbee were getting those kills, Raging Potato and Nando both have been doing a really good job at staying in different parts of the map and just continuously getting farm. So the first time they went bottom with the 3 heroes, it was the Puck, the Tusk, and the Rubik, probably the ones that matter the least in regards to network. So I'm okay with them losing, you know, a support or two, maybe even losing their mid player every now and then if the Enigma is getting closer to his BKB and as long as Nando's farming.
Right. I guess that's where you would say Raging Potato maybe, like, he felt pressured, right? Losing those 3 hero bottom, losing a fight, he's like, okay, I'm gonna push out top, right? Like, okay, they're bottom lane, I go push out top, but he's really got to be careful of this Dragon Knight, the solo kill potential, even just the setup for his team that comes with this Shadow Blade. You can see he learned his lesson. He's going to be playing this push a lot safer. He's a lot inside the trees, allowing the Eidolons to do all the pushing because he's so close to that BKB. And this is such an important timing because this is also one of the big peaks of the Newbee line, I would say, is that they're about to get to their full strength. And then it just comes down to whether or not Execration can stop them, mostly with the light. I feel like most of these other members, you know, the Light Stealer and the Puck, they're going to have a much harder time with these RR. He is going to be blown up. It's going to be support for support there, but Moogy's in an awkward position. Fortunately, he's got SCC by his side, so there's no way Execration going to fight this one out.
RR's been really good about getting Burrow. I think he's gotten him like 2 or 3 times this game.
Yeah,
It's a pretty hard steal, to be honest. But it's a fantastic spell to have. Burrow, in my opinion, is one of the best non-ultimate spells you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been for probably like a year. I remember remember, like, we saw TI6, rebigs were constantly picked up against the Sand Kings simply because it was considered such a strong product.
No Roshan coming out here from Newbee either. I guess they're probably just waiting out. Well, that goes back up. Faith will be alive now. He can just TP it.
Kaka trying to take the hard farm here. The top lane is going to be caught. Oh, maybe not, actually. Moving towards forward, but the Infest Bomb has already come out. They do manage to get the slow, so Kaka is not going to make it all alive. But in the meantime, they managed to catch James, which is more important. They managed to take the core away from Execration, and it doesn't look like Execration is comfortable about contesting this one. Still going to try those inhibitors. Doesn't quite have that BKB. Oh, what a big timing this would have been if he had just an extra 200 gold. Maybe they would actually be able to fight this better. They managed to link in. They grabbed the cheese, but not the Aegis. Moogy managed to grab the important item, and now for the snowball out from the top. Actually, he's not going anywhere. Still going to be caught. An Execration attempt to contest there. Just end up losing 2 more heroes.
That was a really nice attempt, though, nonetheless, from Raging Potato. He got the cheese, so sometimes they drop pretty close to each other. And when you're in the moment, you know, you're just spam clicking the ground. You're like, please give me the Aegis, please give me the Aegis. I think he probably would have died twice anyway, because he had to blink in, right? So he doesn't have to blink back out when he respawns.
Do you think that Execration had to go?
I think taking the cheese away is probably good enough. I mean, sure, losing the 2 heroes is not ideal, but if Raging Potato sacrifices himself and he gets one of the pieces, it's probably still fine, because, you know, are they pushing high ground before he gets BKB is my one question. If they were pushing a tier 3 and then that resulting fight were to make them lose racks, I'd say no, definitely not worth it. But if he's still allowed to get BKB before the next real push comes out from Newbee, then I think it's okay.
It looks like he loves it. Recipe. Newbee. They're still playing this like pretty, I would say, safe, bit slow. Yeah, probably okay. They're trying to get their BKBs up. I guess if you look at it in that regard, if you're operating on your BKBs and you get enrage off at the right times, you may not actually die that black at all, right? A lot of it's magic damage, and then the other half is Lifestealer, what he can do. But Dragon Knight's got high armor, and Ursa's got the enrage.
There's definitely also consideration of the Dazzle, like Faith having the weave and stuff.
Oh, they're going to make the initiation here. Just go for the straight up kill on SEC. Now, KP is around. He managed to make the TP into the shrine, so he can attempt to counter this. Is Execration. Get a little too grouped up, and there it is. He goes for it. Only hits 2 of those. BKB was still up in the Enigma, but it's good enough as Moogy makes his initiation follow-up. Manages to kill the Lifestealer, takes down the Ursa. James manages to actually pick up that 1 support kill, and it looks like he'll get away with a well-timed haste route. Now, Raging Potato, 4 seconds up. Kaka misses the Burrow Strike, needs a right click in desperately as the Blink Dagger's going to come up, but he gets the Yule Scepter. Managed to get the vision there. Raging Potato will be caught, and I don't think he makes it out here. Between the Burrow Strike, the finale, actually taking the kill there. Monster kill streak for him, 15-25, and the first reveal of the BKB Black Hole, but it was not good enough for Execration.
They had a really nice idea of, okay, the DK's sitting in front, we got a little time, let's just go ahead and drop a black hole on him and we'll take it. It sounds really good on paper, but I think with this style of lineup, what needs to happen is you kind of want Newbee to be engaging into you, because they have 2 heroes that are great at just sitting out of the fight. Right. They have Kaka on the Sand King, and then you have KP Shaker. In addition, you also have Faith, who, had he been maybe a little bit closer, you know, maybe they don't even kill S-Triple-C, but because of that, they can sit back and they can also line up their own Echo and Epi as well, off of a black hole.
Right. Fisher initiation, Nando is dead. Just like that, 50 seconds on the clock, and Newbee will push for high ground.
That is real bad news for Execration.
Yeah, especially since there's no one to hold up for 70 seconds between the 2. You basically have 2 cores out of the fight. James actually doesn't have a Lincoln, so he can't even play that aggressive. Newbee, Burrow Strike, kind of dangerous. He does make that initiation here from Kaka. They manage to get the Lincoln snowball, that only tries to hit some time though, as KP follows that snowball up with a chance goes to stun on the 2, and James watches it all, unable to do anything. They make it a small stun on KP, but he's able to get out. SCC pops his BKB, man fights for his team to be able to back away. And really gonna go back into this. Coming back up. RR makes his stun. Okay, that's a little far. Vicious block. He's definitely dead. Nando's here now. They hold as 3 against Newbee. Like,
Has fallen.
maybe they can keep it. Gonna get target. KP makes the Echo Slam barely onto Nando, but it's good enough for Moogy to get the fall-in damage. Now it's just a control game. Newbee definitely are going to be able to take the mid laner racks, if not more.
Radiant's middle
Eventually
barracks
going to
are under
rotate and
attack.
take this here too. He's a little low, he will lose his Aegis. Coming back though, fully full mana. Melee racks will fall, and
Radiant's
Newbee
bottom tower is
rotate
under
to
attack.
bottom
Radiant's
lane
middle
if they wish.
barracks has fallen.
Take that tier 2, or maybe just back up and farm.
Well, they know Black Hole's up soon, so it's probably safer just to back off, take your win, go get your farm, heal up, buy your items, stuff like that. Come back with just a little bit more punching power the next time because you're going to be fighting into essentially the full arsenal of Execration, and that Black Hole on DK mid definitely came back to bite them because the fight itself they didn't even off of killing this from the sea, and because the Black Hole was down and rolling out the smoke, they're able to just very easily get across the map. They didn't. They committed an Echo, I think, and an FE to the fight mid, but it's not as important for them to have those abilities as it is for Execration just to have the Black Hole. That ability is so paramount. They last picked Enigma. If the hero doesn't come in huge, then their team fight, in comparison to what Newbee have right now, is just lackluster. So I'm feeling like it might be a little bit too much in regards of like net worth and experience lead now for Execration to do anything but try to get like a 3 or 4 man Black Hole if they want to win a fight.
Right. And in this case, like, if Execration is the ones setting up a fight, and not TPing, might want to TP friend for certain situations, but he's okay. In these situations, say we look back to that stats, right? Do you think the better way to set it up for Execration is that they go for this infest situation, and that's their form of initiation onto a hero, even if it's going to be slower in damage and they may not be able to burst down a hero, that's their form of initiation, and they hold their Black Hole and wait for Newbee's counter initiation.
I think that's the perfect way to fight. But you have to be able to do enough damage to force Newbee to react. You know, that's the thing. You have to force either KP in, or you have to force Kaka to go in. Then you can Black
Radiant's
Hole.
bottom
If you
tower
wait,
is under attack.
I think you can win.
Radiant are scanning.
Smoke is going to pop here. SEC. 2 has some vision down. There goes BKB. Black Hole, but only catches KP. That's not really great, especially with the Shell Grade still there. KP is going to be able to get off some sort of abilities. Dials up for a little while, gets to the trees. It's going to be top on coil. James, though, he's the only one left alive. His whole entire team pretty much crumpled under Moogy's weight of the big bad bear. James not even going to make it out. His Lincoln's is down, so he's caught by the Eel Scepter. Newbee, you're going to give it up. It's like, it's too hard to kill that hero. Let's just go for that tier 2. After all, it is 40 seconds on the clock for an Enigma, and 65 seconds for the Black Hole.
I do feel as if Raging Potato is playing a little bit anxious, I guess is the best way to describe it. He's going in really fast, he's looking at heroes who we feel have big team fight impact, and he says, I'm going to try to stop you from using your spells. But Newbee have a really good team if you're only getting a Black Hole in like 1 or 2 people. We just saw there, Faith got the Grave, he lived through pretty much everything, he only died at the very end once James got the coil on him after the Grave wore off. So you commit this BKB Black Hole, you can just kill 1 person. Not when you're this far behind.
James, silence, a little harassment onto Newbee. They've taken the tier 3 and they're happy enough after all. Roshan potential timing starts now. The worst thing you can do as Newbee with this kind of advantage is force another fight in the background, somehow lose that, and all of a sudden the Execration is
There is still potential for turnaround. That's the beauty of heroes like Enigma.
Yeah.
If you get the right Black Hole, you get the Midnight.
Not against KP. Oh lordy.
Alright, well,
I think he had the ancient prowler minus armor on him. So KP with a double damage, just Echo Slam and Chant Totem womp. Took like 75% of his HP.
oh, Nando. He might be getting saved.
He is going to die in his stead, and Newbee, tier 2 still up. Top lane will take
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Thinks better of it. Bottom lane of Rags.
Well,
Radiant's bottom
looks like we're going to be looking at potentially them just going back and checking push again, or are they just going to run straight for the tier 2? Right now it's going to be backdoor protected. They're going to be able to clean up some of the buildings, just doing some tier 4 damage. Like this. Yeah, they need to be careful though. There is BKB black hole.
Up in one. James. You know, I'm looking at this, and I think that's part of the beauty of Lifestealer Enigma against this lineup that doesn't have anything to really threaten. Oh, they're actually going to TP forward. They really want to catch Newbee here. James is in a position to jump on some heroes, but it just looks like a little bit too much. 5 heroes are there. He makes a long orb jump away. He wanted to catch somebody for Newbee, but they just stayed a little bit too moved up for him to find that opening. Dire successful scan onto Raging Potato, so they back away.
It's very interesting watching this game because on paper, I think that Newbee's lineup is a tiny bit better, but it's not so much better where you think that they would win most of the games. You would assume, like, every once in a while, if you were to play this matchup a lot, that the Enigma would come in huge eventually when he has BKB, get the right targets and go in. But the way the fights have just been going, they're not really, like, you want your chain of initiation to typically be Puck and Lifestealer, like you said. They go in first. They make Newbee do something, and then you can get a black hole. But the way the fights have been going, they're going in at the same time. Or they're going in, like, Raging Potato goes first. And that's dangerous. It's super, super dangerous. Enigma plays best when he can sit back and wait for his moment.
Is going to be found here. Looks like they're going to... Oh, maybe not. He gets off the ult sector, saves himself at half HP. Snowball still being held there on the fade. Killed him for sure. Looks like they caught Nando as well with the missile blade. They can manage to get the coil out. Moogy is going to just run straight through, tanks the stun, invest away. James with KP. He's lying in wait, managed to get the Echo Slam. Hold on to James. They're going to blow up the Puck and release the Lifestealer or not. Oh, look at blocks that Bro Strike. Tries to make the throw away, but doesn't make it. Nando can't even TP out. Good lord. He has no armor pretty much against Moogy. And Moogie's got a ton of damage.
By the way, I don't think I've seen Moogy miss a single attack on that Lifestealer.
Yeah, what's with that?
Have you noticed that as well? Like, he has seriously hit every single swing.
Yeah, I actually just clicked on him to check for MKB because I was like, man, he didn't miss anything there.
He did it in the base, he did it in like 3 different fights, and he had the talisman for ages.
Yeah.
I think up until this point, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes ago, he still had cheats in his inventory when they managed to steal it from Road. But yeah, Newbee coming in strong here. Game number 4. Game number 35 minutes. Seems okay. Well, he canceled that one. Kind of got a feel for, you know, Raging Potato a little bit this game because it is a high pressure Enigma game. Yeah. It's like, oh god, if I don't get the Echo, the game's just gonna fall apart. Because, you know, I guess James did okay in his lane. And Nando was free farming for a majority of the early game as well. It just when it came to